When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to a special edition of the Mek Wi Talk program. You may see the computer freezing over time. Don't mind that. Just listen to the words that we're going to speak tonight. I'm supposed to have our good friend, Headboy, we're supposed to be coming on anytime soon. I want to say it has been a great afternoon, been a great night, great day. You all are hearing me clearly? I'm coming over clearly to all of you? Let me know if I'm coming over clear to everyone. I tell you something, Oh, hold on there. I'm being told that something is live now. Let me see something here. I am not sure if this is true, but let me figure out something here. As I come on air, I am being told that there is a live feed coming in pertaining to something that I think we all may want to see. But as we come on into the program tonight, and as we sit down and listen to what is going on in our country, Jamaica, with the Integrity Commission, and with what the Chief Justice, well, not the Chief Justice, what the former President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Seymour Panton, has said, that he will not drink any water from the Parliament of Jamaica. You sit down and you ask yourself some questions. But as we come on air, I want everyone tonight to sit down and look within ourselves before we start our program. Sit down and look within ourselves and put our country before our parties. This country of ours that we call Jamaica is still a gem in the Caribbean. Because when you go anywhere else in the world, you can hear people ask, where are you from? And when you say Jamaica, they're excited. And it begs to ask the question, if they're so excited, why are we not excited about this country? Why are we not excited about the country that we love so much? That we claim that we love? And let us fight for this country. As I said on many occasions in this program, the next election is coming up in this country. Jamaicans must fight for the democracy of this country. The soul of Jamaica's democracy lies in the hands of the Jamaican people. And as we come on air tonight, let us continue to speak out, to put truth to power, to speak truth to power. And I encourage every Jamaicans from all walks of life, from Negril Point to Moran Point, when the time comes for you to vote, go out and vote. I will not tell you who to vote for, how dare me, or who not to vote for. It is your fundamental right to vote. The soul of Jamaica's democracy lies in your hands, Jamaicans. We must fight for a better Jamaica. A Jamaica that we can leave for our children. Then when we're all gone, they can say, yes, my father and my mother fought for this country. Same way Nanny of the Maroon, a Paul Bogle, a Marcus Garvey, a Samuel Sharp, a Buster Manty, a Norman Manley, a Michael Manley, fought for the democracy of this country. It is for us Jamaicans now, to stand for this country. Not to stand for party, but to stand for Jamaica. Not to stand for a leader of a political party, but to stand for Jamaica. We wasn't born a member of the People's National Party or a member of the Jamaica Labour Party. We were born Jamaicans. And the time for us to look within ourselves and don't sit down when the time comes for you to exercise your franchise, but to go out there and fight, go out there and stand up, go out there and vote for the soul of Jamaica's democracy. Election is around the corner, Jamaicans. Election is around the corner. Share up this live. Election is around the corner, Jamaicans. And don't sit down and say we will not do this or we will not do that. But rise up. Rise up for the soul of this country. Rise up against corruption in this country. Rise up against nepotism and cronyism in this country. Rise up against the crime and violence in this country, Jamaicans. And for all of us who believe that we can't do something, yes, we can. We have the blood of Nanny of the Maroon. We have the blood of Samuel Sharp. We have the blood of Paul Bogle, the blood of Marcus Garvey in our veins. Stand up for what we believe in, Jamaicans. Fight for this country. Vote for your rights. Vote for a better Jamaica. Vote for a Jamaica that when we are gone, we can leave a better Jamaica behind for those who are coming. A peaceful Jamaica, a prosperous Jamaica, an educated Jamaica, A Jamaica that can stand its own. A Jamaica that is debt-free. Once and for all, we must stand up that this country must start producing and export. As what Michael Manley said, eat what you grow. And if we had listened to this man, then we'd have a better Jamaica when it comes on to food. But we can still do it. We can still stand up. We can still fight. We can still grow our own foods. We can still do it, Jamaicans. And so tonight, as I come on air tonight, I come on air because I believe in a better Jamaica. I believe in a Jamaica where every man don't have to be poor. I believe in a Jamaica where every man can stand and be better off. Good night, Yo-Yo. How are you doing? I believe in a Jamaica where our education system can turn over another female prime minister of this country. Our education system can turn over a young Gabriela Morris, the youngest senator in the Jamaican parliament. That is what I believe in. I believe in a Jamaica for all of us. I believe in a just Jamaica. I believe that our justice system can turn around. There's nothing wrong with Jamaica that we can't fix. We can fix this country. We can turn this country around. Let us do so, Jamaicans. Let us do so. Let us do so, Jamaicans. It doesn't matter what party you're from. It does not matter what party you're from. You are a Jamaican. And we must stand for the soul of the democracy of this country. We must demand from our leaders accountability. We must demand a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Not a government of the favorite few, or a government of the vum vavan, the vum vavi, but a government of our people. That is what we must stand for in this country. We can't stand for our young people, our young men digging out their hands. No. And that is why I will come on this platform day after day when I can to speak out, because I love my country. I love this country. I could be doing something else, but I choose to continue fight for the soul of this country. I continue come on air whenever I can, because I believe in a better Jamaica. I believe in a Jamaica where all of us can live in harmony and peace. That is a Jamaica I believe in. I want a Jamaica where when our government decide to sign memorandum of understanding, they can come and tell us, listen, we signed this and this is why we signed this. I want a government who, when they're signing deals with the Chinese, Why did they give away the watershed land in St. Anne's? We must know why. Why are they sending our beaches away? We, the people of this country, are the ones who develop our beaches. We, the people of this country, are the ones who, when the hippies used to come to Negril, our parents and our brothers and sisters, our uncles, came out of their houses and to give the hippies, all the hippies a pitched tent in the yards on the 7 Mile beach in Negril. We are Jamaicans. We are the ones who build the tourism sector in this country. But yet, we don't have access to our beaches. What can go so? Our people don't have any access to our beaches anymore. Our governments give away the watershed lands to the Chinese to build 800 luxury houses, while our people in 2024 do not have any water in their pipe. What can go so? What is going on? Are we too blind to see that this country is treading behind Haiti? Are we too blind to see that this country is going down Spurtree Hill without any break? When are we going to stand up with Dr. Devon Taylor of Jabem and say we will not stand by and allow you all to give away our beaches anymore? When will we stand up for the corruption in this country? When will we stand up for the nepotism in this country? When will we stand up against brutality in this country? When will we stand up against people infringing of our fundamental human rights? When? Because it hasn't touched our doors. We just sit down and say we can't do nothing because on our business. It cannot continue, Jamaicans. It cannot. We must stand and we must demand a better Jamaica. We must stand up and demand a better Jamaica. We must stand up and demand that leaders of this country must remember one thing, that the word servant means in Latin, servant of the people. It's not the other way around. When we have politicians disrespecting us and telling us that not one single dime of his effing money will spend on any other political party, what can go so? It is taxpayers' money. What can go so? When are we going to sit down and stop this thing about it that we are banned this and we are banned that? When will we put this country ahead of political parties in this country? When will we put this country first and not political parties? We don't have any respect for each other anymore. We don't have any morals and values and attitude in this country anymore. Where is it gone? When will we as Jamaicans stand for this piece of rock in the Caribbean Sea and not for a political party? When will we as Jamaicans wake up in this country and realize that Jamaica is Jamaica. It's not a PNP Jamaica or a JLP Jamaica. Jamaica belongs to every single one of us. Whether we are PRJ or Never Dare Move or UIC, we are Jamaicans. Why are we disrespecting each other? Why are we bringing down the morals of this country, all in the name of politics? Are we going back to the 1980s? When will we stand for this piece of rock? When will we stand for this piece of rock that we call home? People around the globe grudge us as Jamaicans, but yet we do not see the value of this country. We do not see the value of this country, Jamaica. We only see the value of a political party. I love my country. No matter where in the world I go, I am and always will be a Jamaican. I love this country. I love this rock in the Caribbean Sea. And as long as I have breath inside of me, I will continue to speak out for this country. If when you do good as a political party, as a prime minister, I will speak that you have done good. When you do bad, I will continue to speak about that. When you continue to infringe on the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people, I will not stand idly by and say nothing. When you continue as a government to infringe on the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people who put you there, I will not stand idly by and say nothing. When you have our citizens in our country languishing in prisons in this country who has never seen the light of day, I will not stand by and say nothing. When you have Jamaicans in our prison system who has never seen the doorstep of a courthouse, much as go in front of a judge, those are the things I will continue to fight for. You can't profess that you love poor people and no one will go around to find out if Tom Jones have ever seen the light of day in a courthouse. What can go so, Jamaicans? The soul of Jamaica's democracy is at risk. And that is why I will continue to say this to you. The next election, Jamaicans stand up and vote. The soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on you, the Jamaican people. The soul of this country relies on you, the Jamaican people. Wayne, good evening to you. I see you. Miss Williams, how are you doing? Stand up for this piece of rock, Jamaica. Stand up for this piece of rock. I see some things going on in our beloved island. And we just sit down and we do nothing. We say nothing. We do nothing, we say nothing. I must say condolence to a member of this YouTube channel, a student of this YouTube channel, who lost her niece in Montego Bay by violent people who throw acid on her. My God Almighty, we have become a set of barbaric set of people. My condolence on the behalf of my family and the Mek Wi Talk family. My condolence to you, my sister. I won't call any name, but I'm pretty much sure they're listening. I'm supposed to call him, Lord of mercy. I didn't get a chance to call him today. Maxine Cummins, good night to you. When will we stand for this piece of rock? When will we stand for this piece of rock we call Jamaica? When will we hold our leaders accountable? When will we put Jamaica first over political parties? When? When will we? When? As I go into this program tonight, I just wanted to say that to you all. We're going to dig into what Mr. Golden said at the conference. But I had us to do this because today at home I was doing some work and I've been thinking seriously about what I need to say. I went on paper and I started writing down some stuff. And I hear a voice said, speak from your heart. Speak from your heart. And tonight I speak from my heart. The love of my country. If people could just love this country and put Jamaica first. The Americans don't put the Democrats or Republican first. They put America first. And that's all I'm asking for. Put this country first. Put this country, Jamaica, first. Because our country, if we do not put this nation before all of us and before the political party, I keep on saying to you all, the change that we seek in this country will not come from the Jamaica Labour Party or the People's National Party. We, as individuals, must bring out the change in this country. We, as Jamaicans, must bring the change that we seek in this country. We must bring the change that we seek in this nation. That's what we need to do. For us to leave a Jamaica, a better Jamaica, for our children, then we who are here now, must stand up and fight for the soul of this country. We who are here now must stand up for the democracy of this nation. We who are here now must stand up and say no more to cronyism, no more to corruption, no more of them infringing on our fundamental rights as Jamaicans. We have a right. That is why I keep on saying to you all, get a copy of our Constitution. Read the Charter of Fundamental Rights. No more will we sing alibi, all because it is not our doorstep, we don't do nothing about it. We have a voice. And we must do something about what is going on. We must. Tonight program, I'm supposed to have my good friend Head Boy coming on tonight to speak with us. We're going to speak about the what opposition leader Mark Golding has in the making if he should become the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. If the PNP should win state power tomorrow morning, he has laid out some stuff that we need to sit down and listen to and pick. I wouldn't say sense out of nonsense. I would say make sure that we hold him accountable if he becomes the next Prime Minister. The first thing we want to speak about tonight is constitution reform. And it's a dear topic to my heart. And I do not believe that this country of ours should continue in a way where we don't have a right or we don't have a say in the leadership of this country. And when I say that, I meant this, that I believe that the Jamaican people should have a choice to vote for their Prime Minister, their President and their Prime Minister. I don't believe in this ceremonial thing where you appoint a president, then you elect a prime minister. I don't believe in that. I believe that the Jamaican people must have a say in the reform of this constitution in this country. It's the first time in our history, in my lifetime, I should say, not in our history, in my lifetime, and in certain and in other people's lifetime, that they've ever seen a reform of their country's constitution. And I believe that the people of this country should have a say. The Minister of Constitutional Reform, Minister Marlene Malahufort, I don't think she has done enough in the sense of educating the people some more. Like up the live feed for me. In the sense of educating the people some more. Share this live feed. In educating the people some more for them to understand the meaning of constitutional reform. And that's one of the things that I am deeply troubled with. I am deeply troubled because if our people cannot have a say in the formulation or the formulating of a new constitution in this country, then why are we voting? We must have a say. We must have a say in the election of a prime minister, in the electing of a prime minister, in the electing of a president. We must have a say. We, the people of this country, must have a say. And I hear opposition leader Golding said something that, honestly, I am in agreement. I am not in agreement with it. But I want you to all to listen to this, because when we finish talking about this, I hope Head Boy come on, When we finish talking about this, we're going to take your calls. Because I want you to tell me your views on it. We speak about the Integrity Commission in the Parliament yesterday. We spoke about that yesterday. So today we're going to speak about Opposition Leader Mark Golding and his layout of what the People's National Party want to do if they gain state power. And I start off this afternoon, or tonight, or this evening, with the Constitution. With the Constitution. And I want you to listen to what Opposition Leader Mark Golding said.
Last year, Jamaica embarked upon a formal process of constitutional reform. The people were excluded from the design of the process, and the people did not trust it. The PNP is very clear on our positions on points of principle. Our representatives on the committee that they established did not sign the report of that committee because we did not agree, and we do not agree with some of its recommendations. And I will share some of those issues with you now. First, the reformed Constitution will establish the role of a president to replace the Governor General. We have no problem with that. The president will play a critical role in appointments to sensitive positions of state. And that president must be perceived as independent of partisan politics. The president must enjoy the trust and confidence of the society as a whole. Therefore, if there is no consensus between the government and the opposition on who the person should be as president, the PNP does not support the appointment being made by a simple majority vote in Parliament. That effectively is what the majority of that committee have recommended. That would compromise the independence, trust, and confidence that the president must enjoy. And I say, no way, that is not in the interest of Jamaica. We also insist that an impeachment procedure should be included in the reformed Constitution to hold delinquent politicians to account. The two parties were originally committed to this. I tabled a revised impeachment bill in Parliament in April 2021, over 3 years ago. But this government has chosen to ignore it for 1,237 days. Accountability is not a priority for them, as it is for the PNP. The JLP has flip-flopped, and impeachment has been excluded from the report of that Constitutional Reform Committee. We support full decolonization now, not a piecemeal approach. No more foreign king as our head of state, and no more inaccessible final court on the other side of the world that decides our laws in the name of a foreign king. We want a final court that is accessible to our people so that they can get justice. And the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CACJ, is doing this for the people of Barbados, Guyana, Belize, Dominica, and St. Lucia. And those countries are doing well. Time come for the Jamaican people to have the fundamental right of access to high quality justice at the highest level.
time come for the Jamaican people to have access of justice at the highest level. And I agree with opposition leader Mark Golding. I agree with him because for far too long, our people can't afford, yes, don't get me wrong, the London Court Privy Council, that's Jamaica's final court, has handed down some well-deserving cases for us. But how many Jamaicans can afford to go to London? I heard somebody on a platform speaking the other day that the Caribbean Court of Justice is full of PNP judges. I find it very amusing. And you know I find it very amusing? I won't call in a name, but that person who was speaking is from the other side. And I'm sorry for her, you know. Because obviously she hadn't done her research. That the Caribbean Court of Justice comprised of judges from all over the Caribbean, all over CARICOM. And when she gonna say that Mark Jefferson Golding, PNP, pack up the Caribbean Court of Justice with peer PNP judges, I beg to ask the question, the level of education that that person may have. The opposition leader spoke about impeachment, and I am in agreement with that. The current Prime Minister has promised us impeachment. I want to play something for you too. He promises a lot of things in the first 100 days. And I want to play this for you.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half-truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison for you.
100 days. We fix election date. Still I wait for the promise to fulfill. One broken promise after another. Laughable, as we say. None of your promise not fulfill yet, boss. So there you are.
Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament.
All ministers under the new...
And he has not done that. He has not done that. We're still waiting on the bill to go before the Parliament to be passed. You promised the people of this country that in your first 100 days, you will put a motion before the Parliament of Jamaica for impeachment, and you haven't done so yet, sir. You have not done so. I want you to listen to what opposition leader Mark Golding said earlier on, and I know I played it before, about the constitution reform. But you need to listen to this keenly. Listen to it keenly again, please.
Last year, Jamaica embarked upon a formal process of constitutional reform. The people were excluded from the design of the process, and the people did not trust it. The PNP is very clear on our positions on points of principle. Our representatives on the committee that they established did not sign the report of that committee, because we did not agree and we do not agree with some of its recommendations. And I will share some of those issues with you now. First, the reformed Constitution will establish the role of a president to replace the Governor General. We have no problem with that. The president will play a critical role in appointments to sensitive positions of state. And that president must be perceived as independent of partisan politics. The president must enjoy the trust and confidence of the society as a whole. Therefore, if there is no consensus between the government and the opposition on who the person should be as president, the PNP does not support the appointment being made by a simple majority vote in Parliament. That effectively is what the majority of that committee have recommended. That would compromise the independence, trust, and confidence that the president must enjoy. And I say, no way, that is not in the interest of Jamaica. We also insist that an impeachment procedure should be included in the reformed Constitution to hold delinquent politicians to account. The two parties were originally committed to this. I tabled a revised impeachment bill in Parliament in April 2021, over 3 years ago. But this government has chosen to ignore it for 1,237 days. Accountability is not a priority for them, as it is for the PNP. The JLP has flip-flopped and impeachment has been excluded from the report of that Constitutional Reform Committee. We support full decolonization now, not a piecemeal approach. No more foreign king as our head of state, and no more inaccessible final court on the other side of the world that decides our laws in the name of a foreign king. We want a final court that is accessible to our people so that they can get justice. And the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CACJ, is doing this for the people of Barbados, Guyana, Belize, Dominica, and St. Lucia. And those countries are doing well. Time come for the Jamaican people to have the fundamental right of access to high quality justice at the highest level.
Very good speech by opposition leader Mark Golding. And there are some points in there that we all need to take out of it and sit down and analyze it. You know? To sit down and analyze it. Because if we don't do things like this, remember that this is what Mr. Golding is saying to us. I want to say good afternoon or good night to my former teacher, father, who teach me at high school, Mr. Philip Hall. Good night to you, sir. Thank you for coming on. I want to say this to you all tonight, that if we do not hold these accountable, if Mr. Golding should win state power tomorrow morning, remember that he has promised us all of this. And I think that based on the utterance of Mr. Golden that Jamaica should be in a better place, in a sense, if he should win state power. There are so many things that he said that draw my attention to the constitutional reform speech that he gave. Then he went and he said, he went to another part of the speech that he was talking. He said, time come for a fair deal. No, sorry, time come for a balanced deal of economy, I think. Yes, here it is.
We need a more balanced and resilient economy in an era of growing food insecurity. So, look out for the transformation of agriculture and the blue economy, our maritime economy, to drive rural development. We have to invest in farm roads, in cold storage facilities, in irrigation systems. We have to deepen the use of technology, marketing support, and expanded access to affordable loans for our farmers.
You remember when Michael Manley told us that we must eat what we grow? And I think if we had pumped billions of dollars more in agriculture, we'd be a better nation right now. Let's hope that when opposition leader Mark Golden gets in, if he does get in, which of that everybody says he's going to get in, let's hope and pray that all that he's saying on the political platform may be implemented, it may not be implemented in one term. But of course, you can do something in the first term to show to us that you are doing something to change the Jamaica that we dearly love around. I want you to listen to some more. And you know what really draw me to this part of the speech is when he speaks about agriculture. Listen to some more of this.
We need a more balanced and resilient economy in an era of growing food insecurity. So, look out for the transformation of agriculture and the blue economy, our maritime economy, to drive rural development. We have to invest in farm roads, in cold storage facilities, in irrigation systems. We have to deepen the use of technology, marketing support, and expanded access to affordable loans for our farmers.
Food security should be every single government first priority. Food security. And if you don't have food security as a government, then there's something wrong somewhere. Food security should be the number one priority in a government, in any government at all. And I hope and pray that as he speaks about food security, that something will be implemented when they become the leaders of this country. Listen to this.
Time come for a new deal for our teachers, our police officers, our nurses, our firemen, our correctional officers who serve the public and deserve to be treated with respect.
Time come. Listen to me. And you listen to me good. Did the UIC have a conference that everybody can listen to them? Did the UIC have a press conference that everybody can listen to what they're saying? Why can't you promote Jamaica more than promote UIC? I am just putting out something here that was said before to get people's views on it. So if you have a problem with me talking, then don't come on the platform over here. Can the UIC tell the Jamaican people how much money they collected? And where's those money? Where's those funds? Since I'm going to talk about the UIC, can you on the leadership of the UIC come on this platform tonight and tell the Jamaican people of all the donations that you have collected, is there a bank account for the UIC? Is there a bank account for the UIC? Can the UIC show the Jamaican people what they have collected? I want you all to listen to something that we need to get a hold of and listen to it keenly. And that is why I say, the soul of Jamaica's democracy relies on we, the Jamaican people. I will not go into details and tell you all why I say that, But the soul of Jamaica's democracy is in the hands of us, the Jamaican people. One of the speeches that draw my attention that draw me to listen to what Mr. Golden is saying is when he said the Portia initiative, the Portia Simpson Miller initiative, the first female prime minister of this country. And that is why in my opening remarks, I said to you, the Jamaican people, we must leave a better Jamaica that our children, and next female prime minister can come out of this country. Listen to what Mr. Golden said about the Portia initiative.
Land and housing are fundamental development priorities. In celebration of our first female prime minister, we will bring forth the Portia initiative, the program for orderly renewal and transformation of infrastructure in all areas, the Portia initiative. This program will drive policies that Sista P stood for, improving infrastructure in old housing schemes, tearing down zinc fences in communities and replacing them with proper concrete walls, completing the infrastructure and land titling for existing land tenure regularisation schemes, they call it Operation Pride, and rolling out new ones to bring hope and decent living conditions in areas of social neglect. Our beloved Sista P will smile as the next PNP government improves sidewalks for persons with disabilities, provides housing assistance to needy citizens, and beautifies communities where our people live. The Portia initiative is a must, and time come for that.
I can see vision impaired Senator Floyd Morris saying yes, yes sir, time come. Of course, Senator Floyd Morris was appointed to the Senate by former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Portia Simpson Miller, the girl who hailed from Woodall. There are so much things that Mr. Golden said in this speech here. Land title, land reform. That our people can get access to lands and land title. Listen to some more of it.
Land and housing are fundamental development priorities. In celebration of our first female prime minister, we will bring forth the Portia initiative, the program for orderly renewal and transformation of infrastructure in all areas, the Portia Initiative. This program will drive policies that Sista P stood for, improving infrastructure in old housing schemes, tearing down zinc fences in communities and replacing them with proper concrete walls, completing the infrastructure and land titling for existing land tenure regularisation schemes, they call it Operation Pride, and rolling out new ones to bring hope and decent living conditions in areas of social neglect. Our beloved Sista P will smile as the next PNP government improves sidewalks for persons with disabilities, provides housing assistance to needy citizens, and beautifies communities where our people live. The Portia Initiative is a must, and time come for that.
Wow. And time come for that. Without lands and houses, our people can't survive. And I remember when you're growing up, your parents always said to you, make sure you have somewhere to lay your head before you can do whatever else. You know? And it is every single Jamaican, and I think it's every single person's in life dream to have their own home. And when you have governments giving away lands to other people when they're people, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to I'm publicly inviting, my number is running across the screen. I am publicly inviting a member of the UIC. I am publicly inviting a member of the UIC to come on my program. That is my number. Get in contact with me. When you have a government giving away lands to foreigners and your own people don't have land to build a house, something is wrong somewhere. And when you hear Mr. Golden talking about lands and so forth, I hope and pray that if he becomes the Prime Minister of this country, that Leader Golden will make sure that every single Jamaican from the length and breadth of Negril Point to Moran Point can have a piece of land to build a house, an affordable house. Mr. Golden went on to speak about the NHT and lands. And that is one of the things that draw me to what he was saying. Because you all know that the Housing Trust was established by the late Michael Manley. And successive government continue pulling down money from the NHT and don't pay it back. The NHT wasn't designed for governments to take money from it to build up the national net reserve or to help pay IMF. The Housing Trust was put there to help poor people. And the two parties has done it. And I hope, I pray and hope that when Mr. Golden become the leader, or yes, I pray and hope that we all see housing trusts wherein they stop pulling down money from housing trusts. Listen to what he's saying.
The next PNP government will also make lands available to the National Housing Trust for qualified contributors so they can build their own homes. From day one, we are going to restore the core mandate of the National Housing Trust, which was the baby of Michael Joshua Manley. We will stop the extraction of capital from the National Housing Trust. It was an emergency measure. It was supposed to only last for 4 years, and it has now continued for over 12 years. And we will return to providing affordable houses for people who need to buy or build a home. We plan a comprehensive review of all laws relating to housing to find ways to make housing more affordable for all Jamaicans. These initiatives are all about balancing the books and the people's lives, something that Sista P always spoke about and believed in.
No, man, I have to play this again. I have to play about this again. I like what Mr. Golden is saying. I have to play this again.
The next PNP government will also make lands available to the National Housing Trust for qualified contributors so they can build their own homes. From day one, we are going to restore the core mandate of the National Housing Trust, which was the baby of Michael Joshua Manley. We will stop the extraction of capital from the National Housing Trust. It was an emergency measure. It was supposed to only last for 4 years, and it has now continued for over 12 years. And we will return to providing affordable houses for people who need to buy or build a home. We plan a comprehensive review of all laws relating to housing to find ways to make housing more affordable for all Jamaicans. These initiatives are all about balancing the books and the people's lives, something that Sista P always spoke about and believed in.
Wow. You know, when you remember Portia Simpson Miller, she reminds you, well, some of the ideas that Portia Simpson Miller has. Ideas of the late Michael Manley. And when you listen to what Mr. Golden is saying, exactly what Miss Simpson Miller would have done. And let's pray and hope that when this government, when they become the next government, they will implement these things. They will implement these things because the Jamaican people need homes. They need somewhere to live. Yes, yes, indeed. Hold on for me, everybody. Hold on for me. Just a minute here. Yes. I want you to listen to something else again. But honestly, the whole land thing and housing trust, it has something, there's something in it that really riles me up in the sense of land reform and title and making sure there's lands available for the people from housing trust. Listen to some more of this.
The next PNP government will also make lands available to the National Housing Trust for qualified contributors so they can build their own homes. From day one, we are going to restore the core mandate of the National Housing Trust, which was the baby of Michael Joshua Manley. We will stop the extraction of capital from the National Housing Trust. It was an emergency measure. It was supposed to only last for 4 years, and it has now continued for over 12 years. And we will return to providing affordable houses for people who need to buy or build a home. We plan a comprehensive review of all laws relating to housing to find ways to make housing more affordable for all Jamaicans. These initiatives are all about balancing the books and the people's lives, something that Sista P always spoke about and believed in.
I have with me online a very good friend of mine, one of our person who love to come on my program here. My good friend Head Boy. One moment for me, Head Boy. Head Boy, good night to you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, my friend. How are you?
I am doing good, you know.
You're living and looking like Monty Perkins.
Oh yes.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
Head Boy. I was just talking to somebody who you know very well, you know.
Yes?
Yes.
Who's that?
I can't call the name on the program here, man. I was
Oh,
talking.
don't call his name on the program. Yes.
As a matter of fact, I sent him the YouTube channel and he said he's watching it. So I asked him if he want to call and he said no, not now. I think you should know who I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we have been playing some speeches here out of the conference.
Yes, I've been
Yes.
in and out of it. In and out of it. I've been seeing the speeches. Very powerful speech, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah?
What is your views? And let's start from constitutional reform. What is your views on the constitutional reform speech that Mr. Golden gave?
Well, obviously, I mean, the opposition has never been opposed to constitutional reform. What they're opposed to is the manner in which it is being done. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, as I said, it cannot be a piecemeal effort. Yeah? So, you can't push the cart before the horse. Yeah? So, essentially, what we're saying is there are some issues that don't need any major reform. And for example, all Jamaicans agree that, yes, the issue of the Privy Council as our final appellate court, we agree that we need to have another appellate court, such as the CCJ.
Yes.
Because it will be easy for you to appeal for justice at the CCJ. The CCJ, by the way, is an itinerant court. What that means is that it travels to Jamaica to you. You don't necessarily have to travel to it all the time. You may go your first hearing in, I think the court is in Trinidad.
Yes, in Trinidad. Yes, it is. It is in Trinidad, yes.
Right. So you'll head to Trinidad for your first hearing. And then the court comes in an itinerant manner and come meet in Jamaica. By the way, a plane ticket to Trinidad is not even 500 USD fully. That's what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 ways. So that's first of all, you're talking about affordability. You do not need any special person to come and represent you at the CCJ. So it means you don't need any barrister or any law lord in London to represent you. Which, by the way, as Vibes Cartel would have revealed to us, to go to the Privy Council, it's not cheap.
There you go. That's true.
It's not cheap. So the conversation we're having, justice must be made. Yeah, justice must be affordable to everyone. And I think that's why the PNP's position. And as one who would have grown up in the politics of the PNP, we understood that's why for years our position was that the CCJ must be the final appellate court, because we understood the cost to justice. Sometimes it's not the justice itself, the cost to it.
Yes.
Yeah. And it must be made affordable. So that's the position of the PNP is non-negotiable, that the CCJ must be the final appellate court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to put a spokes in it saying that we can have both. Yeah? Because, for example, in jurisdictions like St. Lucia or the OECS member states, they do have the CCJ as one of their appellates, but they also have the Privy Council.
Yes.
Yeah? So if you are not satisfied with the results that you get at the CCJ, you can move on to the Privy Council.
Yes.
Yeah? So I'm saying that can be a work in that can be something that we could consider, because in light of the cartel matter, there seems to be some people in the public who are saying, well, we still like the Privy Council. So there can be a balance into the argument. Yeah. So it is something I'm saying the opposition needs to look at as well. Yeah.
So in other words, what you're saying then, that
Mhm.
the London-based court can be for the people of the Vumbavon, the Vumbavine?
Well, if they are satisfied with that, but nevertheless, they would still have to go to the CCJ,
Yeah.
and then they would have to dispute what the CCJ says, then onto the Privy Council.
True.
But that's almost a. So I am saying it can happen because there are jurisdictions that do it. Yeah, I think Guyana is one such jurisdiction.
Right.
Where it still has the CCJ as its final appellate court, but it still goes to the Privy Council if it is not satisfied.
Mhm.
So, but the issue you have to understand with the Vumbavi and the Vumbava is they don't believe that black people, little dirty foot boys who have become lawyers and who have become quite good at jurisprudence, should actually preside over them. So it's a matter of class, by the way, my friend, and color.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's one, and they believe that those who have studied at Oxford or at Birmingham, or at Yorkshire, that these are some way better than our students who have studied at Caville or who have studied at Mona.
Yeah.
So but it's always been a JLP position. They've always been anti-integration, coming back as far as Alexander Bustamante.
Mhm.
Yeah. So on the constitutional reform matter, I think we need to look at that final appellate court issue quickly. And we also need to look at removing the Queen as head of state.
The king.
Now, the king, well, I forget that the Queen has died, For some reason, I'm still saying Queen all the time. Now, for that, where the position is non-negotiable for the PNP, is that they're saying the people should decide, on who becomes the president.
And I believe in that too, head boy. I believe I believe the people of our country, once and for all, must decide who is the president and who is the prime minister. It cannot be that the Jamaican, but it cannot be the Jamaican people must continue having one constituency voting for Andrew Holness or Sir Mark Golding, and then because the party has him as the president, he becomes prime minister. I don't believe in that at all, sir.
Well, I mean, it would require a lot of change in the Westminster model. So therefore,
yes,
you would be going in a deeper. You'd be going in a deeper. That would require, for example, a lot of entrenchment. So therefore, you'd have to change our entire parliamentary system. Remember, we have a Westminster model system.
I know.
Right? So it will require us to change the entire Westminster model. I am saying let's look at the low-hanging fruits first. Yeah? There are some low-hanging fruits that we can pick at. The low-hanging fruits is one, removing the king as head of state, the final appellate court, and also putting in impeachment legislation. So and the power of recall. So under that impeachment, you should have the power to recall your MP if it's not performing. Currently, no, we do not have that. I heard you the other day with a discussion after I spoke to you, right? Where you were asking, could the Prime Minister ask Warmington to step down as Member of Parliament?
No, he could not.
And the truth, he could not. And you did say you were correct in what you said. But, as it were, there is no mechanism in law which allows a constituent to come and say, look here, we're tired of Warming not doing no work. Let's send him home. Yeah? And remember, Mark Golding from the man, the alleged Member of Parliament, took up the chair and beat the woman in Westmoreland. You know what I'm talking?
Yes.
Right? From it was alleged he did so. Mark Golding brought an impeachment legislation to the House. This was a promise of Bruce Golding as well. Right?
And it's a promise of this current Prime Minister, and he's saying in the first 100 days he'll do so, and nothing has been done.
Because they know that if they put impeachment legislation with some of the things that their names are being called in and what they're involved in, then it would be an automatic way for the Parliament to impeach them and get them out. So they don't want. Would you put something that is going to be unfavorable to your outcome? No. So that's why they're against impeachment. But I'm saying the only way we can have the power to recall an MP who's non-performing is via impeachment. Yeah. And there should be impeachment. And we're not asking that it should be there. It must. Then we must have fixed election dates. Yeah.
And,
There must be fixed election.
and I pray and hope that when Mr. Golden and the PNP gain state power, that they will put all of those things in place for the Jamaican people. And that always not as a promise.
But Mr. Golden started it already, Jeffrey.
Yes,
he started it when with local government. Remember that we had the two pieces of legislation. Minister Ascot, Noel Ascot, might have not been one of the most eloquent ministers. But when he was working in local government, he was a quiet, silent giant. And anybody inclined to know that Noel Ascot is not my best friend. He's not one of the ministers I favored when he was minister. I am not afraid to say that. Yeah. But nevertheless, he did the work. And a man do the work, you have to give him credit. Yeah. And the truth be told is that those two pieces of legislation was actually enshrining local government in the so when the JLP kept on postponing, they were actually violating the very rules that Mark Golden and Noel Ascot was actually trying to introduce, which is every 4 years there must be a local government. Every 4 years. The only thing they stopped short of was the date. Yeah. So I'm saying that the work and that has started, and so they need to continue that work. It was abruptly ended because remember that it's in just end of 2015, early 2016 that legislation was passed.
Right.
The election was February 25th, 2016, if people are forgetting. Yes, February 26th. So 25th, sorry. So it's very uncertain, and it's very that one the fixed dates. But I also looked at agriculture, and I was very impressed with his presentation on agriculture.
Yes.
Because we have had what we call, and I know you're a man from the West. Yeah.
Yes.
And the West has the best, not just the food, but the good ganja.
Oh yes,
and,
the sense of meaning when he said decolonization now.
Of course, because the truth be told, that what you look at, for example, in Essex Valley, right? Which is down in St. Elizabeth,
right?
Yeah, the Pedro Plains. Now there is a major investment being done. You have Duffus House in Manchester. You have New Forest, and so all of these places which are agro parks, which are a part of Roger Clark's vision for agriculture. Yeah, which saw you're giving people 5 acres, because one of the problems that we have in Jamaica is coverage. If you really want to produce for yourself, you can't have a man that produce per quarter acre and expect that the output is going to be great. Yeah. So and I'm saying this because you see, this is my hobby. I like agriculture bad, Jeffrey. Yeah. And even though I was a town man, the little furor I got into the country. I mean, I could wheel my machete good too.
And I like whenever I wheel my machete, my wife laugh at me.
Well, but you're not doing Westmoreland any justice, because Westmoreland we're known to be machete wielders.
Well, that's true.
But on a serious note, when we have to look at agriculture, one of the things, and let me tell you why, and why I'm disappointed. We have, since Roger Clark, we have not had any serious minister of agriculture. Yeah? And I say so with the greatest level of respect. No, Derek Keller, when he took over, he attempted to do well, but the man was running 2 ministries. The man was running both labor and social security and agriculture. Yeah? So it took a toll on him, and but he was doing a very good job, because he himself is a farmer. What we're having now in agriculture is these jokers who don't even understand what agriculture is.
True.
Yeah? So you bring Colonel Charles Jr., who never from the DM band dig a yamil yet. Yeah? You bring Floyd Green, who all in life he has gone to Monroe College, and him not really know nothing about agriculture. Yes, him grew up in a St. Elizabeth, but don't ask him about agriculture. He's an attorney. What does he know about agriculture? He doesn't even have a little mini farm for himself. Yeah?
Maybe he has people planting it for him.
Well, when the Red Pole Bull was around, the Red Pole Bull was in fact a farmer.
Yeah, I know that.
Right, and because him come from Westmoreland down Darlingston.
Yeah.
Also. So So the truth be told is that when you look at the agricultural, what we have had now, and then we also see the man them attempted to sell AMC. You know AMC out by Tavares in
Yes.
Tavares
Garden.
Market, DC
Yes.
Tavares. Yes, it was very shameful. It was not until the outcry came from the public that they decided they were no longer going to sell it.
Mhm.
One of the problems we have is cold storage. So you have, for example, we need more extension officers. Yeah. So these are things we have looked at for many years in terms of extension officers. There was a research that was done at RADA in 2015, right? The report was published in 2016, and you can go and check it.
Mhm.
It evaluated RADA in terms of extension officers. Do you know in most areas is one extension officer to maybe over 500, 600 farmers?
What?
Now, what productivity can you get out of that? And it can be higher. Yeah? What productivity can you get out of that? The international standard is that you have one extension officer to maybe every 100 farmers. Yeah?
Mm.
So it is quite clear that this is nonsensical.
Mhm.
And that they have done nothing to improve. What they did was they have now taken up real prime estate, and this is another nonsense that I'm seeing happening. Prime agricultural land, and them give to them friend up a mega mart, right?
Hmm.
Now, you know me not Jeffrey, me going to level my mouth.
Go ahead, man.
And they gave the prime agricultural land to them friend, over 1,000 something acres of land. And him tell us, oh, he's going to build the largest greenhouse farm in Jamaica.
No,
You know
no.
how much over there? You know how much him over there farm pan now?
How much?
Hello?
How much?
Less than 5 acres.
What?
Okay. And they leased it. Shukir. Who by the way, and Shukir, you could take me to court for saying this. By the way, who seemingly is willing to just give up agricultural land without any due consideration to farmers and to access to farmers. Yeah? That's one. Remember, when the Chinese wanted to build a housing development over Bernard Lodge estate, him Shukir presided in the farmers being run off the property. Yeah? But once again, Shukir is from the Vumva V Vumva. So you can't expect any better. You can't expect any better. And I'm a man, I talk straight enough. I don't need to beg William. I don't have to beg Shukir anything. Yeah? And even if I would speak the truth. Now, when you look at leaching now, went to Israel with himself, Arbin, and the Israeli citizen who sits in our parliament and the prime minister. Right? And when they went to Israel, they met with Israel, and Israel trained over 20 of our young people. Leaching told us, oh, they're going out by Shedwin Park. You know Shedwin Park?
Yes, man.
Remember them have a lot of old estates out there, you know. Yeah? Old sugar land. And did you know what they decided to do? That if the government gave him a part of that estate to plant, to this day he's not doing any planting out there.
I thought he was going to plant cassava and those things.
Cassava what? And he went to try to get the ordinance changed from an agricultural land to housing land. Because what they were doing, and I keep on saying it, what these guys are doing is they go out there, they make a bad rain fall, and they say, oh, we can't plant anything out here, so please change your ordinance to housing.
In other words,
look at this.
In other words, maybe they go up there and strike the clothes to make the rain fall.
I don't know. They have a lot of money, so it's possible for them to do anything. I wouldn't put anything past them. I wouldn't even trust them in the dark. True. So the truth be told is that when you look at it, that it's really a situation where these guys have taken up resources that don't really belong. So and you know what hurt me with the lands out in Shedwin?
Yes.
I'm not calling it the right name. It has another name. There's a proper name. Inwood Estate. Sorry.
Inwood, yes.
Inwood Estate is the right. Shedwin is the development. Right? In Inwood, right? We had Ambassador what's his name? Evans.
Right?
Yes, he used to operate out there. Right? He was a major sugar producer. And a very good man. And a lot of workers used to work with him on that estate. Yeah. And do you know not one of those workers received a piece of land out there to plant?
That's not good.
Not one. And it is shameful to say the least. It is shameful to say the least that these guys are treating small farmers. And let me tell you something. This was what Michael Manley rebelled against. That's why we had the land lease program.
Yes.
That's why we had the Pioneer Corps. That's why we had programs that was able to cut up land and give to farmers. Because before 1970, there was 60% of the agricultural land were owned by previous estate owners and their families. I want people to understand what I'm saying, you know. Yeah, and we need to stop this nonsense. We need to allow our people to get a chance. Let me tell you, lawyer must eat, prime minister must eat, doctor must eat, teacher must eat. Farrakhan came to Jamaica in 2014 and he told us, you need to look at agriculture. You cannot import this so high. No, I'm not saying that is everything in everything we are going to be able to produce for the export market, but we need to produce for our domestic use then.
And based on all of that, you know, it is taking a long time for us to get what Farrakhan and other people have been telling us, you know. Michael Manley said to us, we must plant what we must eat what we grow.
And grow what we eat, and they laughed at him and say he was preaching communism. Yes. And then the same Christopher Tufton, 30 years down the road, came with the idea, and everybody said, oh, what a brilliant idea. All he went to do was go look for Michael Manley plan and revive it. Right? And we know Chris to be a brilliant writer. Because while the pandemic was on, Chris was busy writing his book.
Let's not go to that yet, but let's come back to this now.
No. I'm not going there, you know. I'm just saying.
Yes.
You know, I like to connect my dots, you know.
I want to play something else for you too. And I want you to listen to this. I hope you can hear it. Hold on there from head, boy. Don't move. Hold on there. Let me try get this thing plug into this here. Yes. You hearing me? Hold on there. One moment for me. All right. 1, 2. Here, but
Land and housing are fundamental development priorities. In celebration of our first female Prime Minister, we will bring forth the Portia Initiative, the program for orderly renewal and transformation of infrastructure in all areas, the Portia Initiative. This program will drive policies that Sista P stood for, improving infrastructure in old housing schemes, tearing down zinc fences in communities and replacing them with proper concrete walls, completing the infrastructure and land titling for existing land tenure, regularisation schemes, they call it Operation Pride, and rolling out new ones to bring hope and decent living conditions in areas of social neglect. P will smile as the next PNP government improves sidewalks for persons with disabilities, provides houses and beautifies communities where our people is a must, and time come for that.
Head boy.
Yes, my brother.
Yes. Your views on what Mr. Golden just said about the Portia Initiative.
You know that it seems like you want to get me started. You know my love affair with Portia Simpson Miller,
ahead, man.
the honorable, the most honorable. You know I am forever indebted. I'm forever in gratitude for forever show my gratitude for her.
Yes.
I've come from Southwest St. Andrew, attended Tavares Gardens Primary School in Finland. I know without a doubt that this is befitting honor of our first female prime minister, and it represents exactly who she is. You know, someone who cared for those who are less fortunate. She started the zinc removal program. When you go in places like McCoy Lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dispute Avenue, Howard Avenue, Mango's Town, yeah? There's no more zinc fences in those places. Village, as them call it in Payne Avenue there. Peace Corner,
Yes.
across from Haile Selassie High School. When you go in places in Greenwich Farm, when you're on Marcus Garvey Drive, you know, so she remove all them zinc fences there.
Mm-hmm.
So one must come in there, and this program is befitting that it's going to look at infrastructure in some of these communities, because we built a lot of these schemes and we never look back at them. We never look back at them. Then we have a scenario with the disabled. And like what Mark Bolin said, and I saw my good friend and Tarishina, even though I'm a Kingston man, you know, St. Mary have adopted me, and I'm proud to say I grew up in St. Mary as well after I lived in Kingston.
Yes.
But St. Mary, to see the Honorable Floyd Morris, who is a champion for the disabled community, and to see that this program would involve the disabled, it shows a level of compassion and care. I remember that Mark Bolin comes from a family that has cared for the disabled community all their lives.
Right.
So it is within his heart. The man's heart is in the right place. And I want to commend him for such an initiative. And it's befitting that Portia's name is attached to it.
Yes.
I'm overjoyed. And while he's at that, I want to remind him that he must remove a certain name from a highway that was put there, that the individual opposed. Yeah? That would be my first that would be my first due in the first 100 days. We must rename that highway, the Portia Simpson Miller highway. Is she build it?
Yeah.
Is she go to China go beg? Is she go beg the money?
You see, it's saying we should beg the money for the children's hospital.
Yes, and it should, and it is only befitting that if we're building a children's hospital as well, we name it in honor of her.
True.
When we done, you know, there was no. Let me tell you what we should name in honor of Andrew Holness and his administration. We must rename the dump in Riverton, right? we must rename Maypen Cemetery, because I don't know we have Maypen Cemetery in town. We must rename it in honor of Desmond Mackenzie. He has done so much for that cemetery. Yes? He has been a champion for it. And we must then rename
Is it that's why they call him Deadman Mackenzie?
Exactly, because he had always been a champion for the cemetery. So we must name it in honor of him.
Oh, God in heaven.
My brother, I'm not being, and I think people think that I'm joking. I'm dead serious.
But hey, boy, let me ask you this question though. All of this that opposition leader Mark Golden lined out to the Jamaican people at the 85th or 86th conference of the People's National Party. We know that in his first term, all of this can't be done. But I pray and hope that in his first term he implements some of them. Huh?
Mm-hmm. You're the issue that I have.
Yes.
You're the issue that I have. Their timelines, for example, there need to be some priority programs, and I think some of those programs Mark Bolin announced, they don't require a lot to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't. So some of these programs can be implemented within the first the honeymoon period of government, which is the first 1 year. Some of these programs can be implemented within the first 1 year. Mm-hmm. We can, for example, cap some of that money we're taking from NHT to go pay down from debt, because Nigel Clark is the only man I know who is paying more than he actually owes. So he's not paying more than he actually owes. Let me correct myself. He's paying way before the due dates. Yeah,
But
which makes no.
from an accounting point of view, that not supposed to happen.
It's not. And so he's paying before the due dates. Remember, that's what has happened, you know. He has paid in advance, he's paying on the debt. So that's why we're in the situation where we're at, where the social budget has been reduced because there's no spending power. You can't spend on social programs. So when, remember, no, Portia, and God bless my forever loved leader, right? When Portia was there, we did not have the space in the budget to do some of these things. We now have the space. Portia sacrificed our political capital. Dr. Peter Phillips did the same. And we must always remember, we must always pay tribute to Dr. Peter Phillips. As much as I'm giving tribute to Portia Simpson Miller, I will not be ungrateful. And I will not forget that it is the Petro-Caribbean buyback. And while we do that, let's remember the Venezuelans.
Yes, and right. And right now, this government owes Venezuelan money.
No, they don't owe them. What this government has done is that they have done a dishonorable thing because they were kissing up with Washington, particularly the Donald, what them call him, Daffy Duck? The Daffy Duck administration, right? And what they did was that the Daffy Duck administration brought Rex Tillerson, because one day a man named Rex is a bad dog, that you know. Yeah? And they brought Rex to Jamaica, and Rex told them straight up that you must expropriate the PDVSA shares, and you must put it in escrow for Juan Guaido, who was not elected as the president of Venezuela. So to this day, we don't know if those funds from PDVSA's shares in Petrojam have actually been handed over to the people of Venezuela. We don't know. And it's a crying shame.
And I think we need to ask questions about that to you.
And let me tell you why we need to ask questions about it. So why the thieving started at Petrojam, right? Was because, let me declare my bias here. I am very close to the Venezuelans. Very close. Sometimes some people say too close. Yeah? But I have no apologies in having friendships with countries who have looked out for us. Now, one of the anger that the Venezuelans have is that they say that when the funds were expropriated from PDVSA, meaning them just buy back the shares, right? The funds were put in escrow. They were never given any accounting of what was put there. Because a certain minister who is no longer minister got wind that the shares were going to be expropriated. They started to raid Petrojam because they know, because normally the Venezuelans will check the books. So what we do, meaning the Petroleum Corporation, PCJ, yeah, what they do, they would their accounting, their auditing would have to be to balance. So you know accounting yourself, Jeffrey. So you know it's a double entry system. Yes, yeah. So it would have to be balanced. So what they have on their books is the same you have to have on your books. Yeah. So it is crazy what they have done to the Venezuelans who now are going through a serious crisis. A crisis not created by them. A crisis created because there was a man who lives in Miami who says he was elected and who now is going around the world spending Venezuela's money. The same is happening in the UK. The UK has so much bricks of gold lying there that the Venezuelan people are suffering, who have been very kind to us. Right? Remember that Simon Bolivar, we have a Simon Bolivar Cultural Institute right smack dead in the middle of downtown. Yeah. Why do we have that? Right? Because the letter called Carta de Jamaica was written from Jamaica to free Venezuela. And Simon Bolivar went on to free many Latin American countries. So we have a historical tie with the Venezuelans, and we should never have treated our friends this way. And this is what made me know that Kamina Johnson and Andrew Holness are nothing but puppets.
It's the same way the disrespect, the friendship that the Jamaicans have with the Cubans.
Well, they have a little bit been been cushy. They have been a little bit more cushy because there are a lot of the persons in the JLP who have very good friendships in Cuba. Don't when they used to burn it out and call communists, they used to go vacation. So they have had, for example, I can tell you the goodly man in Western Sentinel. Bobby, good night to you. I know you have some very good friends in Cuba. When he was mayor of Port Maya, he twinned Port Maya with Santiago de Cuba. Yeah, so there are some, even J.C. Hutchinson when he was Minister of Agriculture, they had a trip there. So we know we and this is also on our foreign, and I needed to hear a little bit more on our foreign policy. So this is a critique now of Mark Golden's presentation.
Right.
And I'm being real. We needed to hear more on our foreign policy side. How are you going to engage Venezuelans? Or are you going to engage BRICS? Because BRICS is the new kids on block, the new kid on block.
Yes.
We need to know how you're going to engage the BRICS and how you're going to. A lot of people are afraid to lose their B1, B2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they will never speak on issues like these. They will never engage issues like these. But the truth be told, these are our friends, these are allies. You don't treat your allies. You know when you know your friend, not in good time, but in bad time.
Yes.
Yeah?
True.
And the Venezuelans were always there for us. I remember as a little boy, I can recall when that document, the Petro Caribe Fund, was signed in Montego Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that Norman Manley Airport, the extension was done by the Petro Caribe Fund?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay.
I want you to listen to something else here, that he spoke about corruption under this government. And I want your views on this.
Corruption is rampant at the highest levels of this government. You will remember corruption.
Hold on there.
Corruption is rampant at the highest levels of this government. You will remember during my budget presentation when they tried to prevent me from saying some critical things about governance, even shutting down the sitting of Parliament. Well, I went on the street and I said what I had to say, and I will say it here again. The failure to disclose the identity of the so-called illicit 6 MPs who are under investigation by the Integrity Commission for illicit enrichment remains a festering sore, only made worse by the Prime Minister's gag order on cabinet ministers speaking publicly on these matters. But wait, comrades, I have to rewrite that part because it is no longer 6. It has gone to 8. So let me say it again. The failure to disclose the identity of the so-called illicit 8 MPs who are under investigation by the Integrity Commission remains a festering sore, only made worse by the Prime Minister's gag order on his cabinet ministers and MPs speaking publicly on these matters. Comrades, I had to hurry up and say that a second time, because before we reach and finish here today, maybe it will move from 8 to 12, the way how the number of labor rights illicits seems to multiply like gremlins. We will put a stop to such shenanigans. We will change the law so that all Integrity Commission reports must be published on Parliament's website within a short time, perhaps 24 hours of being sent to Parliament, so all Jamaicans can read those reports. Comrades, it is time.
Hey boy, your views on opposition leader Mark Golden's speech about corruption?
Well, when you talk about integrity, then you talk about Mark Golden. So you don't demand sign on to remember, if you go on training, Jeffrey, right? Let's say you are sent to, let's say the American Hotel Institute, yeah? And in the training, them say you must sign this declaration that whatever you do there will stay there. You must sign this declaration that you will be honest, truth, and whatever.
Right.
But at the end, but you participate in the training. When you end, then to sign it, so you could get a certificate to certify that you are part of the training. Remember the Alibaba and it's 49. Yeah, they went to the training by the Integrity Commission and never signed anything, which indicates to you which part them stand.
Right.
Yeah. So let me tell you something. I'm of the view that Professor Trevor Monroe said something one time, and I was listening to him now. Daniel Archer is the one now who's leading that charge, and she's quite effective at what she does. But Professor Trevor Monroe said something one time. He said, if you really measure the level, the impact that corruption has on our economy, you know what it pulls out of the economy, it's a lot, you know, Jeffrey.
Couple trillion, well.
It's a lot. If we were able to get some of that being spent on our roads, on our farm roads particularly, on our schools, you know, our hospitals, putting in even, I don't see why we cannot offer, as the man Crawford said, we give prisoners 2 square meals, sometimes 3 square meals a day. Why can't we give our students at least a meal a day? Yeah. So a lot of the things that corruption robbed us off, we could have looked at that. We could have spent otherwise. But you know, remember, you know, there are some people in Jamaica who, by the way, when they went into Parliament, they never had no yacht, but now they have yachts spark up in Miami and in St. Lucia. So the truth be told is that is the real price of corruption. Yeah.
But when will we as Jamaican citizens see somebody goes to prison having their hands in the cookie jar? When will we see something like that in this country?
But we have seen it before.
No, I know we have seen it before, but I mean now, this present moment. Will you ever see something like that, Headboard?
I'm telling you that based upon what I'm hearing, that there will be, that a lot of these cases that there will have to be commission of inquiries into some of these things that happen. Yeah.
But don't Jamaicans will be saying that we have commission of inquiries for everything in this country and nothing has been done for the benefit of the Jamaican people?
Well, you can talk about the things like inquiry. That's a perfect example of failed commissions of inquiries. But nevertheless, we had the Manat Phelps and Phillips Commission of Inquiry, and somebody resigned. So if you're saying that, so you can remember, you know, the things of Commission of Inquiry is on the lock and key because of who is involved. If it was me and you involved, Jeffrey, they would have published that report long time.
Oh yes.
Right? No, I'm seeing 1 second, Jeffrey. I'm seeing one of your viewers here called Carlton Robinson, who said, Orton, he's referring to Andrea Orton, said that the BRICS is not for us based on our trading market. I thought, because he said Andrea Orton shared that on a program, and I think he shared that on Andre Stevens' program. I listened to the program, and I agree that yes, our trading partner would be the US, would be Canada, and would be Britain. With the Britain, which are not members of the BRICS. But I'm saying to you, and I'm saying from a foreign policy point of view, right? He's looking at trading. I'm not looking at trading. I'm looking from the point of view what China is the largest consumer in the world.
Yes.
And also the largest producer. India is also the second largest producer and the largest consumer. Yeah? Now, what do we have to export? We have to look at our export, and I agree with all the views expressed. But I'm saying that from a point of view, we need to now align ourselves in a manner in which it represents us. A matter of fact, it should be better that we go back to being non-aligned. We work with who we want to work with. Yeah, we trade with who we want to trade with. When we did that in the 70s and 80s, we were much better. We were much better. Remember, there was a time we were producing milk, you know.
I remember dairy,
Okay.
cream and milk and all those things.
Cream and milk and all of those. So we now have to look at a lot of. So I agree with Carlton that on his right in what he said that the US, Canada, and Britain, they are our largest consumers of our goods because of our people being there. But they will not stop buying from us because we join BRICS. Huh? They will not. We will not stop having trade with them because we are a member of the BRICS. There are still preferential trade agreements that we have because we have, for example, we now have a United States president that is, well, I call her the president in waiting, that is of Jamaican descent. So our relationship with the US, UK, and Britain will never go anywhere, and Canada, I mean, because our people are there. Yeah, our people are there, so they'll always buy from us. We now need to diversify that market. For example, BRICS nation controls 2/3 of the resources of the world.
Yes.
2/3 of the oil, 2/3 of the bauxite, 2/3 of the gold. Yeah.
Yes.
Saudi Arabia. How do we engage the Middle East? How do we engage our friends in the Arab states, such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Dubai? Yeah.
And I think that is why, if the People's National Party should gain state power, they have to have a Minister of Foreign Affairs and an ambassador to Washington who can really, because there is some ties to be mended even within the Caribbean that Jamaica has created,
But let me say this. Currently now, Dr. Angela Brownberg speaks on foreign affairs, right? Yeah. Dr. Angela Brownberg speaks on foreign affairs, and quite frankly, she is more than qualified for the position. She speaks 2 languages, by the way, French and Spanish. Yeah? That's one. So she's a trained Spanish teacher and a trained French teacher. Now, I'm of the view that she'll need an addition, and for me, I'm not afraid to call names. In 2012, when former Minister Arnold Brown was made minister with responsible for the diaspora affairs, we didn't have the Bangarang we now have in the diaspora.
True.
He was quite, based upon what I hear, he was quite available, he was willing to listen, and he had conversations with people. So I am thinking now that what the administration needs to look at is put somebody of experience like Arnold Brown, maybe as a junior minister with responsibility for diaspora affairs, or not just diaspora affairs, but also to mend some of those fences, because it will take experience to do it. There are diplomats in the region who are still upset. There are countries in the region who say Jamaica is a sellout.
Because if remember, I'm gonna say, head boy, if you remember what the whole thing with Camilla Johnson Smith and Boris Patrick of Scotland, that still have a bad taste in a lot of CARICOM members' mouth.
I can tell you, for example, Barney Scotland is of Dominican descent.
Yes.
So she's from Dominica. Yes?
Yes.
The OECS is not happy. And remember, all of the OECS members, with the exception of Gaston Brown, went with Barney Scotland,
yes.
All of them.
Well, head boy, when you sit and listen to all of this, I think the People's National Party have a lot of work to do if they get into power.
Well, there is, and it has always been that way. In 2012, when they came to power, they had to rescue the economy from the brink of failure. Wow. It's always been that way. It's always been that way. Yeah. Remember, that when you look at, so I am saying the work for them, the workload is, but they have qualified persons who are not lazy, persons who come to work. Unlike Andrew Woolness, who have 49 sitting on inside, but have a call a by-election fit because Nigel Clark is going away to try to see if he can put in somebody who maybe will go to Ministry of Finance. Right? Number what you have been doing is any mini miny more, you know, any mini miny more.
Yes.
Get a puppy by its store.
Yes.
If you want to let him go.
Yes.
So you have been doing, imagine you have 49 and you're 48 actually on your side. And you can't find reputable people to serve. It's sad, man. It's a sad state. It's a sad state. I don't think that girl will suffer from that. The PNP has never been short of talent. And I see based upon the conference, and because you're referring to the conference,
yes,
that when you look at the delivery of some of these persons, you know that they will do very well in their ministries. When you talk about the young Andrew Ottens, the young Delano, you said Delano seems right, you know. I was thinking about Delano Franklin of blessed memory. But you're talking about the young Andrew Ottens, the young Gabriella Morris, you know, Damon Crawford, and Arnold Brown, and others whom by the way are highly qualified individuals. Highly qualified individuals.
I think
Waiver lines and others, you know, highly qualified.
I think that the conference was stolen by, apart from opposition leader Mark Golden's fiery speech, I think the People's National Party conference was stolen by a young Gabriella and a Damien Crawford.
Absolutely, and they've always been Damon. Well, it's stolen. I think he buttressed his point. Damon was in his element.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. According to Michael Mann, he was in full flight.
Huh?
I said, according to Michael Mann, he was in full flight.
Yeah, man, he was in full flight. Kyle is saying that a boy Andrew will be the next finance minister. Well, let me tell you something, you know. Sing a candle, light a candle, sing a song, can't find yourself home. That's who he learned it from, because he was Minister of Finance while he was Prime Minister. So it's always been a scenario where Andrew Williams is a total dictator. Because if he becomes the Minister of Finance, Lord, oh Lord, the 28 bank accounts, it may be multiplied to 48. Because who will be there to tell him what he's doing is not wrong, is wrong? Who will be there to stop him? So that is one of the things that we cannot also allow to happen. Miss Rita said everyone is done, so that's why they can't find nobody. It's not
don't be surprised if they don't get someone to put them in the Senate and they become finance minister.
Well, don't the finance minister? No, my friend.
No, he has to be elected as an MP. That's true.
He has to be elected. We have had this issue. We have gone over this.
Yes.
That is why Matthew was elected. So maybe Matthew Samuda will be the next Minister of Finance. Who knows?
Wow.
Who knows? Because they removed Marsha Smith, who could have been, by the way, because she was serving in the public service, the same finance ministry.
Right.
Yeah. So it could be, but I don't know. You know, it is a funny scenario. But let's wait and see where it goes. But the truth be told is, we cannot trust Andrew to be our finance minister, because the man's hand is sticky. I say so. Is the Integrity Commission report say so? His hand is sticky. Yeah? So we are in a real debacle, and I think a lot of people, including the media in Jamaica, have not been highlighting some of the challenges that we now have, because we're in limbo. Remember, we have a budget coming next year now.
Yes.
What is going to be put in that budget? You have missed timelines that have been missed. What is going to be put in that? How are we going to come with the estimates? Right? And I heard Wami peppering the minister before he leave. Right? Wami hit him.
But the minister, although the minister going to leave the 31st of October, you know, Edward. The minister better get himself prepared when he comes to the United States. He better get himself prepared, you know, and be very careful, because there are going to be some questions going to be asked of him by some other people in the United States.
Well, let me tell you something. The minister will have, I keep on telling you, the minister will have immunity.
Well, that's true.
He will have immunity. IMF directors are given immunity.
That's true. Yes, that's true. I forgot about that. That's true. Yes.
Remember, we had that discussion here, we went through, we looked at it. We were the first to point out that.
Yes, true.
We were the first to, that there's a level of immunity that he has. It does not mean that he's immune from prosecution in Jamaica. But what it means is anything that he does during his course of duty, you have to allow him to finish his course of duty until. Yeah? Nigel Clark is a great snake oil salesman. He has sold nothing. He has done nothing, but he has sold a bag of promises. Yeah? Because even this tax reverse credit, right? I don't even know what to call it, reverse of tax credit or credit of reverse tax. Yeah? That reverse tax could have been given to, they could have saved, because they're spending close to $11 billion on it, them say, Yeah? Do you know that $11 billion could have been pumped back into the system? Because there's a lot of persons who don't qualify.
True.
Who don't. We're talking about almost 2/3 of Jamaicans who don't qualify for it.
I heard you said that Matthew going to become the next finance minister. You sure it's not Her Excellency Favor who,
No, I didn't say. I'm saying the only sensible thing. I don't know who's going to be. Want it with me, If I don't know, I'm not going to say.
Yes.
You know me. But I'm saying that it is quite suspicious that they would have removed Marshall Smith, who could have served as the Minister of Finance, and remove her and then put Matthew, who was in the Senate, back in the House.
They do not want Marshall to uncover some stuff, some hanky panky.
No, I know that is why the money Guineagags in Northeast Center not playing with them. The major campaign donors are not giving them anything because them say, how dare you? Because Marshall's father was also many of these families. He was their lawyer. He was their companion. Yeah, he was their friend. And when you are trying to throw somebody that under the bus, the father has been very good to me. Country people don't take lightly to that,
No. True.
Country people are taking lightly to that. So,
as I talk about that, did you hear anything about the hurricane insurance that Niger City was a drawdown?
Now the catastrophe ban?
Yes.
That is a catastrophe in itself.
Oh, shit. Dear God.
Because remember, the catastrophe ban, so we have to get a certain level of hit. Are you referring to the CRIF? Remember, we got a payout from CRIF. So are you referring to CRIF or are you referring to the catastrophe ban?
The catastrophe ban I'm referring to.
Well, we not get nothing from it because it didn't. They said the barometer. Remember, Nigel was giving us the fancy explanation, like
so how did know about that head boy? Did he take an insurance person there with him when he was buying this thing from them?
My friend, the insurance is from a company in Hong Kong. Yeah? Yes, sir? Hong Kong.
A company that went bankrupt before or what?
No.
Oh.
We were the first country to it's a part of the World Bank's thing. We were the first country to actually apply to it. So we were the guinea pigs.
As usual. Dear God.
Right? But Nigel wanted to say that, we were the first. Because you like to talk about being the first, Yeah. So if we're the first to be fooled by the catastrophe, what I would say is we're the first to be fooled by the catastrophe ban. That's what he should have missed from adding to his speech. If I was writing his speech, I'd have had, we were the first to be fooled by this catastrophe ban because we couldn't access it. We couldn't do nothing with it. Because the barometer pressure was not a certain structure. Look at the places in St. Elizabeth now. People dying, in the sense of dying, I mean people don't have access. The roofs are still not repaired. Right? And the response from this administration has been very poor. Very poor. But you can guarantee next year you're going to see the money back. Yeah? Money going on left to right, center to left, and right to center. Anyway, brother Jeffrey, I just want to say
Yes.
a lot of people have been saying, as I wrap up, a lot of people have been saying that they don't know what the plans Mark Golding has for Jamaica. Then you should have listened to the conference. And I thank you for playing this.
Yes.
Because then you get a sense out of the hype and out of the noise and the worry, as they say in Jamaica. You get a sense now to dissect and listen to what the man say.
Right. And that is why in a headboard, I always say to students on this platform, those who subscribe, when I come on the platform and I put up either the Prime Minister, do not run off the platform. Listen. Because when you get it from somebody else, it's not always the truth you're getting. When I put up a speech or hear somewhere giving some speech, listen to it. When I put up the conference of the People's National Party, listen to it. The Labour Party conference come up in November. I'm going to bring that live to you all, so you need to listen. Because he may fly the gate at the conference.
I tell you, remember, I am not so befitting of this, but I listen to them.
Yes.
Because the only way you can effectively critique anything is if you listen.
There you go. There you go.
You can't critique something that you have not listened to. No one is not saying that you must just study them and listen to what them say, because we're not playing with them. Yeah? We're not playing with them. Yeah? But you know, also too, I want to thank also the whole organization of the conference. I want to also welcome, there's no way we could talk about the conference without talking about ISAT's arrival at that conference. And now he's now a candidate for the People's National Party in East Portland. That the man is saying, I go up and leave to make third term. Right?
But hold on there. He said something on the well-known radio station there, you know, that Mr. Buchanan must be careful because he's gonna run against Buchanan's gonna run against him and Anne Marie.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Yeah, really them say empty barrel make the most night. That thing still apply. Right? Let me tell you something. 5 CXC barrel. Nobody listening to you. It's grudge. 5 CXC, you know. 5 CXC. Yeah?
Yes.
5 CXC. So when you really look at this fellow, he feels that he's entitled because of who he is. Yeah? And nobody should challenge him because of who he is. But 5 CXC barrel could stay in there. I can assure you 5 CXC barrel, your wife will, this is her very last time. The last she now get no more. Yeah? And you could go on, because you know what leaving going on? Them going to make third term to secure the third term. It must have something down there in right third term pan to make sure it not blow away.
But hold on there. You don't see the leader of the party hugging up to a certain passing man.
No worry, boy. That's also and his money shall soon depart. So the scripture says so on me. So I now worry about him. All I do is telling Audley, my friend. Audley, you know you're my friend. Don't drink nothing from them. Remember them say Ken Jones sleepwalk off on balcony.
Yeah? And did they say songs? Was it songs who sleepwalk?
No, it was Ken Jones. Sangster was poisoned. What I mean, sorry, Sangster died of the official report says he died. Yeah, but the red skinned man was black when he was being buried. Donald Sangster was member of parliament for North Central Croydon and received that now Short Neck Man has. Yeah, his family. His family is from St. Elizabeth and from Clarendon.
Right.
So Billy Sangster in St. Elizabeth. Yeah.
That is why Justice Seymour Panton said I would not drink any water from inside here.
But I'm not wrong. I would not even breathe. I would have put on a mask. While he was talking, he should have had on a mask. Not even here, he should have breathed because Warmington was there. You Anyway, Jeffrey, before I start, Miss Dave, let me go because as Cargo did say, you know that the popular artist Cargo, him say me brother boy, me hot for them. So
Well, your final words to your Jamaican people as we wrap up here.
but my final words to the Jamaican people is today is the 17th of October. My suggestion would be that one, if you are not yet on the list, please go enumerate because I don't like the other knives. And some of you live over Florida and New York. And I'm talking about a large contingent Jamaican community, Florida, New York, the Atlanta area, right? We have a lot of Jamaicans now in Texas. Yeah? But if you are registered to vote, please come back home and vote. Because let me tell you, you sitting down and saying, yes, go in already. And I said, go. And you know how this man is embarrassed in the country. Yeah? So you know we have to be enumerate. And when you go enumerate, don't go with bring somebody with you. Bring somebody with you. And I want to make a special appeal to the people of Saint Elizabeth. Saint Mary and Northwest St. Anne. That you know our goodly friend Gabriela Morris is running.
Yes.
That it is up. You have an absentee member of parliament. That is the only thing she does down there. And by the way, she's from St. Mary, you know, Crystal Lee Thompson.
Yes.
Sorry, Crystal Lee. Why am I saying Thompson? I put in Thompson on me, you know. I don't know which Thompson she's talking to. But the truth be told, Crystal Lee is from, she was the counsel for the retreat division. So she's from Western St. Mary. Crystal Lee is somebody I know. And let me tell you something, she's not one of the brightest bulbs you can find. So and like the popular thing we have in Jamaica, where you know a lot of red-skinned people that like to drink rum, and 3/4 of the time they're drunk. I'm not saying that the member of parliament has been drunk, but I'm saying she's missing in action. I don't know, is she drinking, is she sleeping, is she walking? I can't say. But what I can say is that the people of Northwest St. Anne will send her back into her favorite pastime, which is to sit down at Ocho's and have a drink. So with her good friend Bobby Montague. So all I'm saying is to the people of Northwest St. Anne, please go and vote. Vote the right way, right? This lady has not done anything. She's just come in that constituency more than just to berate the work that Dayton Campbell did. And by the way, Dayton Campbell was doing some very good work in there. The sabotage Dayton Campbell did not fix the roads in Northwest St. Anne. And they went and campaigned on the roads that they didn't fix. That is still not fixed today, by the way. So I'm going to see if they're going to campaign to say the roads were not fixed. Right? So I wish us all the best and get on the list. Encourage your family members to go enumerate. Because as Norman Manley said, we must organize. And when you organize, then you can win. Jeffrey, listeners, friends and family, the word is love.
My brother, thank you so much for coming on.
As per usual, my brother, anytime.
God bless.
Blessings too.
As we had Head Boy on the program here, should I open the phone lines and take some calls? If I can, then it is now 9:27. 8:27 in Jamaica. We're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Good night, Grace Levy. How you doing? Or Lois, rather. Can you maybe I should open the phone lines. The number to call is 954-529-8030. That's 954-529-8030. Hit the like button, hit the super chat. We're doing a good job. If nobody's doing a good job, then help us out on the program here. The number to call is 954-529-8030. If not, then maybe I should say good night for now. But as before we even say good night, let me do something here. In the unlikely story, there has never been anything false about hope. For when we as Jamaicans have fell down in possible odds, when we have been told that we are not ready, or that we should not, or that we cannot, generations of Jamaicans respond with a simple creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Change must come to Jamaica. Yes, we can to justice and equality. Yes, we can to opportunity and possibilities. Yes, we can heal this nation. We'll remember that there is something happening in Jamaica, that we are not as divided as our politics suggest, that we are one people, we are one nation, and together we can bring the change that we need in Jamaica. For all those Jamaicans whose cares has been our concern, the work goes on, the cause endure, the hope still lives, and the dream for a better Jamaica shall never die. With the words that will ring out from Negril Point to Moran Point, change must come to Jamaica. May God bless you, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Ladies and gentlemen, people, this is where we're going to say so long for tonight. Until you hear our voice again, may God bless our island Jamaica land we love. And remember, when the election is called, go out there and vote. Make sure you're on the list. Go out there and vote. The soul of Jamaica's democracy lies in the hands of you, the Jamaican people. The soul of Jamaica's democracy in this election lies in the hands of you, the Jamaican people. Don't lies in the hands of a political party. Lies in the hands of you, the people of this country. Do not give up on this nation, but demand what you need. Demand accountability. Demand a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And as we close the Mek Wi Talk program tonight, let us reminisce. Let us continue to think about the little rock in the Caribbean Sea, the gem of the Caribbean. Let's continue to fight for this nation. Walk good, everyone. Walk good. Have a great night, everyone. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Talk to you soon. God bless. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Have a great night.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Mek Wi Talk. People.
Responsibility.
Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vum va viva va. no upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it now help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.